If you've worked with images inside of Microsoft Word, you know they can be a little bit frustrating because sometimes the image you have isn't quite the image you want. So let's take a look at how we can do some basic image editing within Microsoft Word. We're going to look at resizing, cropping, and even removing backgrounds so you can wrap the text around it better. Let's take a look. Here's an example we've been using, one with the turtles. And we might say, you know what, I like this turtle really good because it shows most of the screen. However, if I come down here to this sea turtle, I have a lot of empty white space to my left-hand side. Now, my first inclination may be to resize my image. I can do this very easily inside of Microsoft Word. I click on the image, and you notice a series of round circles. I can then click and drag to make my image either bigger or smaller. And you'll notice that it sometimes kind of has that weird jump or provides space I really didn't want. So I may want to crop that image to make it not quite as big. To do that, I'm going to come up to my ribbon, go to my Picture Format tab, and then on my far right-hand side, I have a size group. And I can mainly size it to resize it, or I can click on the crop. Now notice that I have some dash border in my quarters, as well as in the middle of each side of my image. These work very similar to my resizing handles, except if I click on them, it's going to get rid of whatever is now shown grayed out. So if I come in here like this and let go, it's saying, hey, is this what you're going to want to get rid of? I'm going to say yes. And I don't even have to say anything. I just have to wait a couple seconds and it does it for me. I can now click and drag this image up a little bit. And now my image goes more with the right size of my types of turtles, which I have in my text. So this becomes a very easy way for me to resize my image. I don't have to have any type of image editor. I can just do this straight within Photoshop and it handles it for me. I can select my image one more time, go to crop. You notice it shows the whole image. So I can either give it more if I need more, or bring it down just a little bit and make it even smaller. Wait a couple seconds, or I can click off and it will do it for me. And then I can just move this like that. And now my text is better aligned and sized with my image. Now let's look at another example. I have here this image with some text, and I might say, you know what? I don't need the background. Now this background is easy for us to get rid of. I'm going to simply select the background. Go here once again to Picture Format tab in my ribbon. I'm going to click Remove Background. You'll notice it's now turned my background this kind of purpley color. Well, I'm going to come over here and say Keep Changes. And notice that it has removed my background. Now I might go, oh, wait a second. It actually removed part of his hair up at the very top. That's not what I wanted. So you can go back and choose Remove Background. You're going to see this again. I can click my sizing handle and say, nope, this is part of my main image. And I can get it back. Alternatively, if I have a lot of different colors, I can use the mark areas to keep in case it's an image that thinks it's part of the background that's actually part of my foreground. Or I can choose mark areas to remove, and I can remove those sections and say, hey, that's part of the background. I don't want it. I'm going to keep these changes. And you notice I don't have any pants on them, but that's okay. It's kind of a profile type shot like that. I'm okay with that. My issue is the image is still big. And so this is where we're going to use multiple tools within our picture format. I'm now going to come over here to crop. Just going to bring it in just a little bit on each of my corners. This is making my image so it fits a little bit better, but I would really like to actually have my text wrap around it. So I'm going to come here, come to my arrange group, choose wrap text, and I can do square. I can do tight. And you notice what happens when I do tight is it says, hey, wait a second, there's background here. It's the same color as the background on the page. Put the text there. Now, you may not like it with it being on both sides, and you can move the image. You can also, if you want to have a style where you're just showing a bunch of text and then you have an image on top, you can choose put it in front of the text, and now it's sitting there on top of the text. It's going to hide text behind you, but it's just a graphic effect. Likewise, I can put behind text to make it look like a background image if I want to have a background image. Those take some real effort in picking the right image for you. And you can do it. You can make other changes with the picture format section, but I typically don't recommend that. I'm going to pick through, and then I'm going to work on moving my image here off to my left-hand side. And that's as far as it's going to go. And this is just going to help move me off so that I don't wind up having an issue having too much text on both sides of the image, which might be a little bit hard. I can also come in here and crop so that I can move my image even further and make sure all my text is off to one side, or I can flip the image and make it on the other side. Now you might say, hey, I like that idea. Let's put him off to the right-hand side. Crop once again, bring it in a little bit tighter. But you're probably going to go, wait a second, is this, he's looking the wrong way. He's looking off the screen. You may not like that. Well, I'm going to pick rotate, and then I'm going to flip horizontal. And notice it's now flipped my image. Now he's looking back towards all the words. It's on the right-hand side, so you don't mind having kind of that ragged edge. And this just makes it look and fit better. So this is a real easy way to do basic graphic editing or picture editing inside Microsoft Word. Now, it's never going to replace a graphic software, but it's going to really help. In our next video, we're going to take a look at how do we add other things to a paper we might write for school. Like, how do we add sources, and how do we display those sources and footnotes and things like that? So stay tuned and look for that video.